Welcome back to another Canon superhero movie review. I'm your host Terry, and today I'm doing Venom. Yes, it's been a while. It's been a while for all the stuff. I've been off, but I've been doing a lot of busy things. But back, man. I think the movies have been lacking, but October's kicking off the good movie season, so I'm back to do all the reviews. Plus, we got our first superhero movie in a while. So, Venom. One that I was very much looking forward to when it was announced. Tom Hardy's my favorite actor, so it was just all a good combination of what I thought I wanted to see. And when I really was kind of conceptualizing before they even talked about this, and I mentioned before, if you watched the show way back when we were doing it together, I had mentioned back then that a Venom movie to me could work as a grounded, serious movie, and you could show this slow descent into madness, this duality with this Venom taking over. And so I really thought that's the route they were going. Then we see the trailer, seems like that. And then we see the next trailers. Okay, it's not like that at all. And then you hear the reviews. It's nothing like I thought it would be. So we saw the bad ratings, all those things. And I just go into it like, let me see for myself. I don't believe Tom Hardy would let me down. And I have to go see the movie anyway. So let me see what they give us. And I really enjoyed it. Was it what I was thinking and conceptualizing? Not at all, but I still really enjoyed it. I was so hesitant and thrown off when I heard the word comedy. But then when I went to see it, I would have to say it worked very well. Naturally playing off this alien, which you've seen so many different times, but I think they just executed pretty well. And Tom Hardy was really good playing off of Venom. And so what you had was this relationship with Eddie and Venom that really stole the show. And they took time to build up Eddie, which I think was important. I think it was important to understand where he was when Venom came into his life, and really understand the extent to which Eddie Brock was kind of down in the dumps. And I thought Tom Hardy portrayed all that very well. Now, the action was pretty good. The action was better than I thought. Honestly, there's only select superhero movies where I feel like the action is really, really on point. Like how you use the powers and stuff, that's different to me. But like actually choreographing the action, I feel like there's only a handful of movies that do that really well. And I'm not saying this is like top 5, but this is pretty good. I thought the action was pretty good. I love the way they use the power. Speaking of, when you see like a little bit of the scenes of the car chase in the trailer, there's a lot more to that, a whole lot more to that. And I think the way they use Venom powers was real cool. So yeah, I enjoyed the action part of it. It wasn't a whole bunch of action. It was probably like 2 or 3 big sequences, but I really enjoyed those. I thought it looked pretty cool. As far as weaknesses though, I think the plot is just super convenient. And a lot of movies do that. I think this does it to a higher extent than some movies. But also on top of that, I think that it's always irritants of mine when the plot is convenient. I mean, it's one thing to try to explain things and not have a good explanation. It's another thing to just not explain anything and just throw stuff out there for the plot to work. That's annoying. And then I would say the world building consistencies, or the lack of, it was very inconsistent. They set up the rules, like any movie, you set up the rules of the world, and then you have to continue to be consistent with it within your own movie. And I don't think they did that at all. I think there was times where the symbiote or the symbiote, whatever, it was times where Venom and the other symbiotes could do things. And then there was other times where it's like, why didn't they do what they did earlier? Or how come they don't, what I mean? Stuff like that. So the powers were just inconsistent. And I don't like that. That just goes into the convenient plot. And, some big questions, but it was kind of like, this is cool. We're having fun. We're not really here to, make a strong, tight story. We're just trying to have some fun. That's what it felt like. But we did have fun. They accomplished that mission. I had fun. I think the audience definitely had fun that we were with. It was packed. I was kind of upset. I used to live in a bigger city, so, I expected that stuff, so I would get my tickets early, but now I'm in a smaller city. I thought I could just walk in, but no, it was packed to the max. I was in the front row. That's how bad it was. And I still enjoyed the movie. So, a lot of good times, man. I mean, honestly, some really good laughs, some really good action. A little bit of body horror too, especially in the beginning. Like, it's some stuff that looks a little creepy. And, even though Eddie's transformation isn't the longest, before he transformed, it is a little bit of, creepiness to it. So, interesting mix of elements, I'll say, but I enjoyed it. So, as far as a grade, I'm going to give it a C-. I'm going to give it a 74 out of 100. And look, average, just below average, is still a pretty good movie. And you know what? Movies' qualities don't always account for how much fun and rewatchability you have. At least it shouldn't. Like, I think I'm going to definitely go see this again this weekend. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a movie I'll probably buy and have a lot of fun with. Similar to Suicide Squad. I have a lot of fun with that. Doesn't mean it's going to be a super highly rated movie, but doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. And I can understand for those people that won't like this movie. As far as what I've seen with the critics, some of it's a little too much. I don't think it, like, all this talk about how terrible Tom Hardy was stuff. I think that's ridiculous. You gotta understand who the character is and what they're doing with the character to judge the performance. I think he hit exactly what they wanted him to hit. Could someone else have done this role? Definitely. Had they made a more serious Eddie Brock like I was envisioning, I think Tom Hardy would have hit this out of the ballpark, but it is what it is. So I could see where people have some real issues with this. I can see where even people who like superheroes in general, like, might not like this type of superhero movie. But to say that it's utter trash, I would have to disagree. I think it's just a solid movie. So anyway, go to the comment section. Let me know what you thought. Thumbs up, subscribe, share it around, get the convo started. And remember, if you heard it here, it's official canon.